Before humanity, before civilization, before even the first word was spoken, she was here. The bee. A tiny creature, invisible to history, yet essential to life. There are over 20,000 species of bees, but one, the honeybee, shaped the destiny of nature and us. With eyes that see ultraviolet, wings that beat 200 times per second, and sensors beyond our comprehension, the bee is a masterpiece of biological engineering. Inside the hive, a flawless system. A queen who lays, workers who build, clean, feed, defend, and drones with one mission only: reproduction. Each worker bee lives just a few weeks, but in that time, she performs every task in the hive, from nurse to guard to forager, a life of pure service. Born in wax, fed royal jelly or pollen, transformed in silence, each bee is the result of perfect biological timing. The queen larger, stronger, and unique lays up to 2,000 eggs a day. She is the mother of the entire hive, but not its ruler. Without leaders or orders, the hive functions as one mind. A supraorganism powered by cooperation, chemistry, and code. She dances, and through her dance, she tells others where the flowers bloom, how far, in which direction. A living GPS powered by rhythm. She may weigh less than a paperclip, live less than a month, but she keeps forests alive, orchards fruitful, and humanity fed. This is the bee. Pollination, the invisible handshake between plant and bee. Without it, there would be no fruits, no seeds, no harvests. 75% of the world's food crops depend at least partly on pollinators. Without bees, apples, almonds, even coffee would vanish. Beyond crops, bees support entire ecosystems. Their work sustains wild plants, and with them, the birds, mammals, and life they feed. Each flight, each grain of pollen, feeds not just a colony, but a planet. And then honey, the only insect-made food eaten by humans. Antiseptic, immortal, sweet as sunlight. For centuries, humans partnered with bees, not to exploit, but to learn, to share, to honor their gift. They give us more than honey medicine, immunity, nourishment, and light. Every product of the hive is a lesson in balance. Hexagons, the most efficient shape in nature, built without blueprint, aligned without error. A miracle of instinct and geometry. And the cycle continues. Birth, work, death repeated 1,000,000 times. A rhythm older than civilization. From flower to field, from nectar to nourishment, the bee touches nearly every bite we take. In ancient Egypt, bees were sacred. Their honey was medicine, their wax used in rituals, and their image carved in tombs of pharaohs. To the Greeks, the bee was a symbol of the divine feminine. Artemis, the protector of nature, was called queen bee by her priestesses. Myth says the infant Zeus was nourished by bees, hidden in a cave. They were called Melissa nymphs of the wild and keepers of truth. In the Bible, the promised land flowed with milk and honey, a metaphor for abundance, peace, and divine favor. In monasteries, bees were seen as God's workers, pure, tireless, and selfless. Their wax lit sacred texts. Their honey healed the sick. In Freemasonry, The B stands for wisdom, industry, and hidden knowledge values to be preserved and passed down in silence. Napoleon chose the bee as his imperial symbol. Not the lion or the eagle, but the bee, small, disciplined, essential. From pagan rituals to Christian offerings, honey has always been present in births, in unions, in farewells. Across time and continents, the bee was never just an insect. She was memory, myth, and messenger between worlds. And yet, today, she fades. Not in story, but in reality. The question is no longer who she was, but whether we will let her disappear. In recent decades, something terrifying began. The hives went silent. Beekeepers opened their hives to find them deserted. No signs of violence. No bodies. Just disappearance. Pesticides, habitat loss, monocultures, parasites, climate chaos. Together, they form a perfect storm. What feeds us now kills them. In choosing yield over life, we poison the very hands that pollinate. Varroa destructor, a tiny parasite draining life from the hive. An invader with no mercy, spread by global trade. Forests fall, flowers vanish, and the concrete spreads. Every lost meadow is a lost meal for them and for us. If bees disappear, our diets collapse. It's not just honey, it's nutrition, variety, survival. From California to China, beekeepers are sounding the alarm. But few are listening. Some dream of robotic bees, cold replicas to replace a living miracle. But can we ever replace wisdom born of 100 million years? We are not too late. If we act, if we change, if we remember what this tiny creature truly means. Hope begins with flowers. Every seed we plant is a step toward restoring their world and ours. Bee hotels, wildflower corners, chemical-free gardens, small acts with giant impact. Teach the next generation, not to fear but to understand, not to control but to coexist. Some nations are waking up, banning toxins, restoring meadows, funding research. It's not too late to follow. Science doesn't replace nature, it learns from it. And the healthiest bees live where wildness still breathes. Across the world, ancient practices still thrive. Wisdom kept alive in smoke, wax, and song. Painters, poets, prophets, all found something divine in the bee, perhaps because she mirrors the best of us. You don't need a field to help. A balcony, a window box, a decision to care that's enough to begin. So small, so vital, so easily forgotten until it's too late. But if we remember, if we respect, if we protect, then maybe, just maybe, the world will continue to bloom.